What's going on, gamers? It's your boy, the Gumbuck, and it is here, finally here, the mid-season update 5.0. Wait, no, 5.8.0. So, without further ado, let's just get into this thing. As it reads here, it says, the Season 5 mid-season update is here. Love is in the air, contestants. As we hit the heart of the season, there are some exciting events kicking off, plus a whole slew of balance changes and fixes to keep your matches fresh, fierce, and fun. Valentine's Day event. Spin the Wheel of Love, y'all. They're bringing that wheel back. If you remember this last Halloween, we could earn tickets and spin the wheel for prizes. So they're bringing that back, but it looks like the Valentine's version or edition of this. It says here, Cupid's not the only one shooting arrows this season. Our Valentine's event is live, and the Wheel of Love is here to steal your heart and maybe a few wins. Earn tickets by completing daily contracts, spinning the wheel, and unlocking up to 20, that's right, 20 charming rewards. If you snag them all, you'll also win the final prize, which is the head over heels set. This time around, when you land duplicate items, you'll receive a ticket part, collecting 4 parts to craft a new ticket for another spin. So that's great. Looks like they took some feedback on the Halloween rule, right? You also start off with a ticket to ensure everyone gets lucky this Valentine's Day. So this is rad. If you remember when we did the the Halloween one, if you got a duplicate item, you would just get some, I believe it was the VR bucks, right? Like not the real cash, or it was like the in-game cash, not the real money ones. And no, that was kind of like nobody really liked that. So in this one, if you get a duplicate item, you can earn a part of a ticket, and if you get 4 duplicate items, you'll complete a full ticket, which will allow for another spin. So that's really cool. I think that's an improvement to their system. You guys want to watch this video? Let's check it out. Here we go.
Contestants, it's time to spread the love. Our Wheel of Love event is live.
Complete daily contracts to earn tickets and spin the wheel for a chance to unlock heart-stopping rewards.
From romantic skins to enchanting charms, there's something here for everyone to love. And that Cupid outfit looks outstanding, doesn't it, June?
It sure does. And it's reserved only for those who complete the whole wheel. So get out there, earn those tickets, and spin away. Good luck, contestants.
Bro, that's kind of fire. That's kind of fire. All right, so let's get through this. Oh, man, Sir Dread says Heavy gets screwed over every season, I swear. We'll see. We'll get to it. We'll get to it, Sir Dread. So as we continue down here, they say that a Reddit AMA is coming. Maybe we'll do a live watch party for that, guys. What do you think? A live Reddit AMA watch party? Maybe we do that. Got any questions about the finals? Join Rob and the team for an AMA on our finals. That's on Reddit. The Fan Run Reddit on February 19th. So just a little bit after the next weekend, or the weekend right there after Valentine's Day. It's your chance to dive deep, get insights, and maybe even drop that meme you've been saving. Please come and join us for a few hours of questions. I'm going to be there. Stun gun rework on the horizon, on the Sis horizon. The stun gun rework is coming, fam. We hear you loud and clear. The stun gun needs some love. The other kind, not the Valentine's kind. And we've got some plans for this gadget, and we'll give you more insights about the road ahead in update 5.10.0. So that's 2 updates away. In a couple of weeks, we're going to get something with the stun gun. I think the stun gun needs a rework. I'm not necessarily thinking a buff or a nerf, but the way the stun gun is implemented and used in the game, I am not the biggest fan of it personally. But alas, let's continue on. Patch highlights. Alongside the fun, we're rolling out a hefty batch of balance changes, weapon tweaks, and bug fixes. From adjustments to the lockbolt launcher and cash-out mechanics to performance boosts and UI improvements. There's something for everyone. Dive into the full notes and see how your favorite gear and strategies might shift. Dude, this one's a doozy, not gonna lie. They cooked with this one. Finally, check out this week's update full of sweet surprises and heartfelt treasures. Should we watch this, chat? Let's watch it. Ooh. Oh, okay. Bro, that right there goes kind of hard in the paint. That grenade, the heart grenade with the spikes, dude, that is rowdy. All right, so what we've all been waiting for, the crux of this, the meat and potatoes, the freaking balance changes. Let's get into it, guys. I am so freaking excited. Gadgets. The breach charge. They decrease the delay between throwing multiple breach charges from 0.9 seconds to 0.6 seconds. So that's, I mean, that's a buff, right, to the breach charge. So that's cool. That's good. Maybe we'll get some more uses out of that. I love breach charge. I love C4. The lock bolt launcher. This is actually freaking huge, y'all. The lock bolt launcher. Increased activation grace period from 0.8 seconds to 1 second, making it slightly easier to lock onto targets, all right? Then they decrease the minimum pull distance from 8 meters to 6 meters, giving lock players slightly less room to maneuver. That was one of the things that I initially, when I got hit with the lock bolt or shot the lock bolt, I was like, wow, they actually have way more room to move around than I had initially kind of envisioned for this utility. So they decreased that. So effectively, that's a buff. That's a buff to the lock bolt. They decreased the maximum distance from 10 meters to 6 meters, giving players less room to maneuver. That's even more. So the pull distance and the maximum pull distance have all changed, just tightening everything up. So that's kind of the same thing. So the minimum and the max both got a buff, if you will. Increase the pull distance of the lock bolt by 50%, making it slightly harder for players to move beyond the radius of the lock chains. Okay, so they increased the strength of the lock bolt, making it effectively more difficult to move. That is rowdy. They increased the damage that the lock bolt applies from 0 to 5. So initially, if you got hit with the lock bolt, all you did, the only thing that it did to you was inhibit your movement. Now you're actually going to take a tick of damage. Added functionality that would disable the lock bolt's tethers if the lock bolt is carried through a gateway that's outside the maximum pull distance. That's really, really interesting. I hadn't seen anyone using any of the tech of the gateways with the lock bolts, but that is fascinating. That's fascinating. So they kind of altered the mechanic there. So this is actually a pretty sizable buff to the lock bolt. And man, in our No Love Lost tournament, we saw Big Joe use the lock bolt in some pretty cool ways, but I don't often see too many lock bolts after the launch of this season. And so look for more lock bolts in the arena, y'all. This is going to be wild. I'm interested to see how this functions and operates. It might be pretty viable now. So moving on from the lock bolt, or moving on from the gadgets, we're going to go into the game modes. Now, this is actually huge, y'all. There was some big predictions that I was talking to Waltz and the Dirty Baker yesterday, and they said, look for a plug meta change. And we actually got that. Dev notes here say, since our changes to deposit values in cash out in Season 3, we've noticed an increasing number of teams adopting the, quote, plug meta, where teams primarily focus on depositing cash boxes in World Tour and ranked tournaments to increase their chances of winning. While we wanted to encourage teams to focus on depositing and protecting cash outs, not third-partying people, the plug meta has become a little too common and leads to a bad team play experience. The changes to team wipes and deposit values listed below aim to nudge the teams away from focusing entirely on plugging while reducing the incentives for third partying. So everybody knows it. Plug meta. That's what we're doing. I really don't like it. I don't like to exploit it and abuse it. So like some teams will just they'll get a bunch of lights, a bunch of gateways, get dash, grapple, and the whole time they'll focus on getting a plug. They'll offset the two cash boxes so they could just keep cycling plugs, and they could basically win, at least secure a second place all off of plugs. And I don't like playing like that. I want to play the game as it is intended. So I will often say like, hey, we need to go for a plug. It's pretty important. But I don't try to push it to the point of where I feel I'm exploiting that mechanic. But nonetheless, I'm glad they're trying to address it. Let's see what they've done here. So in the cash out, they've decreased the percentage of cash in a cash box that is awarded for depoting, plugging it at the cash out station from 30% down to 20%. So now just actually inserting the vault into the cash box is worth less. It's worth 10% less. So down to 20%. Increase the percentage of the cash box that is awarded for completing a cash out from 70 to 80. So naturally, if they decrease the vault install percentage of the cash out, they're going to increase the completion percentage of a cash out. So that's up to 80%. So you actually get more cash now for completing a cash out. Now, in ranked tournaments, they increase the amount of cash lost from a team's total team wipe from 10% to 15%. Now, this is the team wipe penalty. If you remember back in the Dizzle, It used to be 30%, right? And so they've been kind of playing around with that ever since season 3. See, 10% I feel is a little low. 15% maybe even 20% here. Just that might be a hot take. That might be my perspective, but I think 20% might be a better spot for a team wipe penalty. We definitely need a team wipe penalty, I think, at least in ranked. I'm fine with it not being in World Tour, but yeah. So we'll see how this guy. What do you guys think about these changes here? Let me know in the chat. We'll go over it at the end of this video. All right. So I know Ready Up B, I see you in the chat, brother, and you are going to be excited with this kind of big time, charge and slam nerf. So that's right, everybody. Heavies, cry your tears. Lights, scream with joy because the charge and slam has got nerfed. Decrease the damage done by the initial impact on enemies from 130 to 100. That's a 30-point damage decrease to the charge and slam with the initial impact. Decrease the damage done by subsequent hits on enemies from 50 to 40. So that's a 10-point downgrade. And then decrease the minimum damage of the ground slam based on fall height from 80 to 50. Here's a dev note. The damage applied by the charge and slam has been quite high for some time and is especially punishing for light players, especially when repeatedly hit by the charge. We feel these new values offer a more fair experience. We will just have to see. The only thing, honestly, if it were me, I don't even know if I would care to see like these damage reductions on the charge and slam as much as I would have maybe preferred an increase to the regen timer. I think it's like 8 seconds. You could basically drop a charge and slam, I believe, every 8 seconds right now. I might have liked to see that go to 10 or even 12 seconds in terms of the respawn or you being able to kind of spam that ability. But nonetheless, there it is. Charge and slam has been hit. All right, let's continue on. So the DMAT got a rework, okay? So the DMAT, and I don't know if this is, maybe y'all can help me determine whether this is going to be a quality of life or I'm going to just hate this. But they decreased the duration of the dematerialized objects from 30 seconds to 15 seconds, causing objects to rematerialize more quickly. So what this means is that when you like open up a wall, well, now in 15 seconds, that wall is going to close. I might like that because then I don't have to worry about or like closing the wall myself. They'll close a little more quickly. I'm not sure what the thought process is on the dev side from this change either. Like what type of gameplay change are they trying to implement with this? I'm not really sure. So I don't know how to feel about this quite yet, if I will like it or if I will hate it. I don't know. Only time will tell. The second one, though, I'm definitely pumped about. Added the ability for the dematerializer to remove props attached to wall segments. Dev note, this change should mean that the DMAT now makes clearer holes in the environment that are more easily to move through. Because gosh almighty, if you've been watching my gameplay in this last season, I have become a DMAT demon, dude. I didn't really use DMAT early on. Probably season 4 is really when I picked it up. And I absolutely freaking love that thing. I am a DMAT demon, no doubt. And some of the problems that I do have is when I'm trying to maneuver and get my movement flow going, I'll open up a wall and I'll get stuck on, just like they said, something that was maybe attached to the wall segment that did not dematerialize. So I'm really glad that they made this change. This is definitely a positive move. Now, moving on to the Guardian turret. Cool Dude says that I think that's a buff in terms of the 30 seconds to 15 seconds. Maybe you could probably look at it as a buff. Yeah, for sure. Guardian turret. Decrease the cooldown from 8 seconds to 3 seconds when manually picking up the Guardian turret. So this is kind of like a soft buff, an indirect buff, a quality of life buff. All this really means is that when you want to move your turret and you kind of pull out your iPad and you're like try to like take it down, instead of 8 seconds, you'll now have 3 seconds before you're able to do that. So that's fine. That's fine. Winch Claw. Decrease the range of the Winch Claw from 12 meters to 10 meters, dude. Another Winch Claw nerf. Good golly. Look at this, dude. So now, so it's even. Remember when this thing, I think in the pre-test, I believe it was like 20 meters, dude. It was wild. It was like 18 to 20 meters that you could freaking scorpion somebody, and they reduced that, and here today, they reduced it even further. So now, all you Scorpion mains out there, it's 10 meters, it's 2 meters shorter, fellas. So we're down to 10 meters with the maximum range for the Winch Claw. Another nerf to the heavy. All right, folks. Now to the weapons. Long awaited for all you Flame-Ons, all you medium Johnny Storms out there, the Cerberus is getting a little bit of love. Not quite the way that I would like to see, but here's what it is. Increased damage from 9 to 10 per pellet. And I think there was 9 pellets. Is that right? 9 pellets, I believe. So that's a 9-point increase in damage overall if you hit all of the pellets. Slightly decrease the size of the pellet distribution, making the weapon more accurate. So basically what that means is they kind of tightened up the spread, probably somewhere in between what it was and where the model is today. The model has a pretty tight spread. So they wanted to make that thing a little more accurate to allow for you to hit more of those pellets at the same time. And then they decreased the reload time for reloading one cartridge from 2.2 to 2.1 seconds. They decreased the reload time for 2 cartridges from 2.4 to 2.25. And then, of course, they decreased it for 3 cartridges from 2.6 to 2.45. So essentially, they tried to make the reload time for every sequence a little faster. So this is a buff to the Cerberus. I'm not sure whether this is necessarily going to be a contender against the model yet or not, but the type of change I think would be really cool to the Cerberus is if you could light up surfaces. You could essentially create fire on surfaces much like a pyronade, only in the size of the spread of your pellets. So like I could shoot the ground near the cache out and I would light the ground up there, which would offer some tick damage and probably not as powerful as the pyronade, but some tick damage. And so you couldn't just completely inflame or engulf California style across the entire room of a cache out, but you could throw a couple little shots down here and there, reload, throw a couple more shots down, and create an ability to, tactically put fire damage on people who were trying to approach your cache out. I think that would be a neat change to the Cerberus, but we'll see. I doubt they do it. Anyways, CL40, Ready Up B. I might see some medium action from my boy Ready Up B because he got a little bit of a buff to the CL40, dude. Decrease the radius of the weapon's projectile from 10 centimeters to 5 centimeters, making it easier to avoid accidentally hitting nearby surfaces. So this is kind of like, this first one's kind of like, I don't know, this sounds like a buff / nerf almost, essentially, because if you're decreasing the radius of the weapon's projectile from 10 to 5, I think that means you get a little less splash damage, right? Maybe. But you'll avoid accidentally hitting nearby surfaces. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. I might be reading that wrong. But if we look at this is the big one. This is the big one. Decreased self-damage multiplier from 1.6 to 1.25, meaning it will now do less damage to the player using it if they should accidentally hit themselves, because it was in just a gross place. If you were barrel stuffing another medium with the CL40, you would die and they would not, which is wild, which is absolutely crazy. So DevNote says, while the CL40 has been in a much better place recently than in the past, we feel these small, quote, quality of life changes will improve the experience of using it. So I'm eager to try this out. I think the CL40 is fun, but the self-inflicted damage of 1.6 was just way too gnarly for me. I even think 1.25 is a little high. I personally think it should be just 1. 1-to-1, baby. 1-to-1 is what it should be. But nonetheless, we might see a little bit more CL40s out in the arena. All right, now moving on to the dagger. Added a slight adjustment of field of view when charging up for the secondary attack, making it clearer when the attack is at maximum charge. Okay, so my thing with the dagger, dude, is lately there has legit been a couple times I got backstabbed when I am facing the person holding the dagger. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on with that hitbox or what the deal is, but legit, on more than one occasion, I've moved my mouse quickly enough where I'm legit looking at the person and I die from a backstab. Now, I don't know if it's a ping issue or what, but okay. So anyways, moving on. The FAMAS, aka the FAMAS. It has got a nerf. Look at this. Decrease the fire rate from 230 RPM to 220 RPM. That's effectively going to increase the TTK. And they decrease the damage per bullet from 24 to 23. So not a huge nerf, but this definitely got touched. I'm going to have to look at the TTK spreadsheet and see how this is actually going to affect the FAMAS. I think this brings it almost completely in line with the FCAR and the AKM. So the difference in TTK between the FCAR and the AKM are minute, minuscule, very little. And the FAMAS was kind of king when it came to TTK, especially with the headshots. I think this now brings it down to where all three weapons are nearly identical, are just about the exact same. So that's interesting, which kind of makes it almost like you just pick what you want to have fun with, I guess, because you're not really going to get that much of a benefit going from one to the other. But nonetheless, the assault rifle discussion for the medium is a whole nother video, I think. Oh, snap. Check it out, y'all. I called it. I was saying this. I don't think I'm particularly Nostradamus because I think a lot of people saw this coming. But LH1 nerf, dude. They decreased the damage from 48 to 46. Wow, that's what was it? I can't remember exactly what it was in season 1. So that's a nerf, 48 to 46. They decreased the fire rate from 280 RPM down to 270. So, all right, fam. This is an LH1 nerf. Maybe it won't be so menacing, especially in the high elo. But yeah, okay, all right. The LH1 has come down a little bit. Another model nerf? Is that another model nerf I see? Oh Lord! Hey, see you, Sir Dread. Hasta luego, man. All right. So decreased damage from 13 to 11 per pellet. Wow, that's pretty big, dude. That's pretty big. I think there's 8 pellets. I believe, if I remember correctly, there's 1 pellet less than the Cerberus. So I think there's 8 pellets. That's massive. That's kind of massive. Increased minimum damage fall-off multiplier from 0.6 to 0.7, meaning the model 1887 retains the same damage at max range as it is in update 5.7. Dude, this is, I don't know. That really changed. So this combined with the Cerberus buff, is the Cerberus maybe even better? Is the Cerberus, I'll have to do some math here, but I think the Cerberus might even be better, dude. Whoa, that is gnarly. Okay, moving on. We got a pike buff. No, who's used the pike, and so ever since it got nerfed into the ground. So they're trying to bring it back a little bit. Increase the damage from 47 to 50. That's a 3-point increase. That is not nothing, y'all. That's a pretty big one. So SR84, I might try the pike. I thought the pike was fine. I kind of enjoyed the pike. I'm also an LH1 fan though, so too, and it kind of felt like an LH1 to me. The sniper rifle decreased the bolt action animation duration from 1.25 to 1.05 seconds, slightly increasing the SR84's fire rate. So that's a little buff. That's a little buff to the sniper. Increase the damage from 115 to 118. Okay, I wonder how many shots it's going to take now. We'll have to get into the lab and do some testing on how many shots it's going to take to kill each class. That's a buff. All right. And the sword. Finally, saving not the best for last. Increase the length of the sword's secondary attack hit sweep by 55 centimeters. Wow, that's huge. DevNote says this change reverts the change made in 4.6, and should mean the primary and secondary attacks of the sword now have more consistent length. Okay, so that's actually pretty big. 55 centimeters in this game is kind of massive. So the sweep attack and the hitbox for that has gone up quite a bit. All right, well, that's a sword buff. I think that's fine. You don't see too many swords, but when you do, oh man, I get nervous when I see a sword guy. Not gonna lie. All right. Content and bug fixes. Man, I really hope they got to some quality of life things that I've been waiting for in this. So we'll try to buzz through these quickly and slow down on the ones that I personally think are a big deal. Animation. Fixed a bug where player animations would stutter in the intro and celebration sequences. Fixed clipping issues on the Shack 50 Inspecs. Fixed an issue where the character's hands look broken after throwing Gravity Vortex. Fixed an issue where the red dot sight for the Horizon Hammer skin for the 357 or the medium pistol wasn't aligned properly when aiming down sights. Wow, that sucks. Character and cosmetics. Fix the mirror ball mood helmet so it would not clip. Yeah, okay. Fix the hologram effects on the Azult escape pants. Gotcha. Fixed visual fidelity on the final toss cosmetics. Cool. Contracts. Fixed blind to opponents with a flashbang, so it would not occur for teammates. Huh. Okay. Fixed an issue with some of the contracts were able to progress inside private matches. Ooh, I didn't know that. I wonder who's exploiting that. Gadgets. Lock bolt launcher. It will activate, or pardon me, it will deactivate if carried through a teleporter outside of the max pull range. They kind of mentioned that earlier. Remove the ability for objects to be attached. Oh, okay. Remove the ability to tether to the same object it is attached to. All right, that's interesting. Remove the ability for objects to be attached. Okay. It looks here as C4, breach charge, and gravity vortex. Fixed an issue where the light indicator for the detonators was not visible on consoles. Huh, didn't know that. All right, gameplay. Improved stuttery movements on elevators and elevator doors. Fixed drawbridges to prevent stuttering when moving. Fixed an issue that allowed players to vault while being revived by the defibrillator. Improved the visual effects during respawn invulnerability to be more prominent. Fixed issue where a grenade with certain skins would visually go through walls and floors. Remove the ability to bypass manual action animations, such as using the lock bolt action or pump action by interrupting them. Fixed issue where players could get stuck between objects while falling. Fixed an issue making it so secondary melee attack would re-trigger when held. Huh, didn't know that. Fixed an issue, or pardon me, fixed the sword lunge not charging after a vault when holding the button down. And fixed an issue where the cash-out stations could launch way beyond their intended range when interacting with jump pads. That's kind of a bummer. I always love to see the freaking cash-out just launch across everything, because it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's super cool. Game modes. General. Fixed a rare issue that could lead to locked black screen when reconnecting to a tournament. That's cool. Fixed an issue that prevented equipment or customization changes from appearing in-game unless the user navigated away from the screen before the match started. That one was bugging me, dude. This one was happening to me all of the time. Fixed bug where squad respawns would ignore enemy proximity when there are no active objectives on the map. All right. Let's see here. Quick cache. Fixed an issue where you could sometimes respawn instantly. Never experienced that one myself. And power shift. Fixed an issue where the wrong loadout icons could be displayed if revived while changing characters. Now, I did get that one. So these are all kind of like quality of life bug fixes. That's nice. Maps. The general. Fixed an issue with billboard text that looking stretched. Fixed several floating assets clipping and faulty collisions across all maps. Bernal. Fixed fog rendering. Kyoto. Fixed the destruction from the ground up. Upgraded the destruction from the ground up. Each building will now collapse more easily, with destruction happening on a more granular scale. Debris from collapsed structures will behave more naturally and add to the terrain. All right, well, we'll see how this does for performance. On Monaco, they fixed an issue that could make the cash box fall to the ground, fixed collision issues with some of the walls in the park area, and upgraded the terrain to improve performance. In the practice range, updated trophy room to include trophies from Season 4. Skyway Stadium fixed one of the issues that could make the cash box fall to the ground, improved general traversal by fixing collision issues. On Cis Horizon, fixed an issue where some pieces of they capitalized C? I don't know, maybe that was a mistake. Of the map that could be left hanging in the air when destroyed. I love how they're doing this. That's so funny. Fixed incorrect health value on one of the big metal apples in the art gallery building so it can be destructed as intended, and then added some extra cover in front of the museum building. That's kind of interesting, extra cover there. All right, so here's some of the big ones that I like to pay attention to. Stability and performance. Optimize GPU load when there are a lot of effects on screen. Resizing the game window by dragging its border now works better and doesn't constrain it from its previous aspect ratio. And then improvements to destruction performance on Monaco, and minor GPU optimization for low and medium post-processing quality. And last but not least, upgraded XESS SDK to version 1.3.1. All right. Now, in settings, fix an issue with the previous resolution, the video settings for borderless to full screen on non-primary monitors. Fixed an issue where the tooltips would not show for settings in the general options tab. Added options to video settings that enables an overlay with performance metrics during gameplay. Previously, this overlay was only shown in the in-game video settings. And then improve the list of available resolutions in windowed mode. This includes fixing a rounding error that resulted in odd resolutions and making sure the standard 16:9 resolution were added to the list. Now, heal beam for the specializations added a sound to indicate when the target is completely healed. That is cool. That's a quality of life, honestly, right there. That's awesome. That's a nice, cool little addition. UI, new loading screens. Fixed an issue where loading screens could appear stretched. Added a cooldown to the play button to avoid matchmaking, start canceling spamming. Fixed an issue that will result in player cards not rendering. Fixed an issue where players could temporarily be named player name and have a partially incomplete scoreboard. I didn't know that was okay. All right. Increase the number of emotes you can equip from to up to 8. Nice. And then of course, man, nobody doesn't. I should say everybody wants a little bit of this in here. Security and anti-cheat. UI updates for more transparent player messaging when using prohibited software. Use of NVIDIA Profiles Inspector no longer allowed. And improvements to anti-cheat performance and ability. Whew! That was a freaking mouthful, y'all. Good golly, Miss Molly. So, let's check out what's going on in game, and then we'll go back and we'll read the chat. So, of course, this is going to be a video for the YouTubes. So I've not been super active in the chats. We'll go back and read some of that stuff, and we'll catch up with y'all. But first, let's check out the Wheel of Love event. Ooh, I get to spin the wheel. I get to spin right out of the gate, dude. Let's do it. See what your boy gets. Ooh, okay. Dude, Scotty's question? That was Scotty's voice. Let's go. So this is pretty cool. Let's see what we got in here. A lot of items. That's cool. I like this one. This skull head. The bow, dude. The bow skin looks filthy. Look at all these skins. This is gonna be cool. The gas mask. The eyes are rad. This is cool. And so this is the final reward, bruh. That kind of goes hard in the paint. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Dude, look at all these things here. This is cool. So, of course, we've got the heart, the arena. All right. Nice little sweatshirt, a sticker, some paint, a Valentine's Shack 50 skin, a double barrel skin, and a Cerberus. We've got a chocolate box charm, a little emote. Got some roses there. Maybe I'll carry some of those, bring it to my gal uni. We got a wonderful lock of red Mary Jane hair. That looks kind of wild on me. That's kind of hilarious, though, honestly, like that. That's funny. The rose crown. A little butterfly pet. That's kind of neat. A little butterfly pet. Now, I like this. I think this is pretty cool. That's fun. Oh, we got the crush communicator on top. Ooh, look at the wiggle. Look at the wiggle. The wiggle animation. I think this is rad, dude. I know Vibin. Vibin's going to have to... I wish I could... Can I gift this? Oh, I want to gift this to Vibin, dude. Because Vibin loves the bow. And look at this thing. I know Vibin's going to love this skin, brother. That's pretty dope. Honestly, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm going for that. And Valentine's Day, I'll be rocking that for the puns. I like to dress up when it comes to the seasons, man. Yeah, yes, Ready Up. That skin is crazy. I'm digging it. Bro, that goes hard. Oh, man. I really wish I could gift this. Can I not gift this? No, I'm not going to buy it. I want to gift it. Okay. All right. So, anyways, here we go. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see what we have in the store, fam. All right. So, right out of the gate, we got the sweet heart costume or skin, rather. The whole set, the outfit. That's pretty cool. I do like that. You got remember the robot face? So, it's got this... Of course, you got the helmet. You got this skin here, and it's got the robot face. You know what I need to do? Let's go get the blank canvas. We'll go with this one, and that way, when we look at it, we can kind of see the full mind. There you go. So you got the digital heart changing robot face. That's kind of neat. I like that. I like the sweatshirt too. I'm a fan of this style of sweatshirt in game. They have this. They have this style of sweatshirt in a couple of different colors or skins, like the alien one. You got the pantalones and some combat boots. So there's that. That's cool. They've got the Heartbreaker set, which comes with a gift wrapped at AKM. The gift wrapped is pretty neat. I like that. And they've got the gift wrapped at RPG with the roses on the end there, the flowers. That's pretty cool. And the V9S. So of course they've got the V9S, which is a fun weapon to use. I do think this is fun. I like. Oh, not taking invites right now, buddy. I like the. I do like the little effect here of the wrapping paper kind of being tinged. That's neat. That's neat. They got this little. Oh, will you be my Valentine charm? And of course they've got a sticker and a paint or spray. All right, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. This is it. This is it, fam. I'm going to wait to buy this because I think I want to gift this one because it's... Oh, wait, I could still gift it. I figured it out. I can gift it. But I'm like, I'm buying that, dude. That goes hard. That is awesome. Look at that thing. Oh, dude, equip. Equip. Equip to all. That is so freaking cool, dude. That is awesome. That is awesome. This is a pet. Look at that. Okay. That's interesting. What's going on this morning, Nichols? Welcome. We're filming a video right now. This is going to be live. We're going to turn this into a YouTube video. The mid-season patch update, brother. So you're live with it now, and you're going to be here, Nichols. My man Nichols in the chat. Everybody go check him out. He streams on everything. Everything? Everything. All right. So yeah, that's a pet, which is not an actual... It's an inanimate object, but it's a little balloon you can wear on your shoulder. That's a thing that they did. And you know what? This just doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. Let's go back to contestant. I'm gonna remove this guy. What we need, here's what we need. We need a Biggins. We need a Biggins. Bilbo Biggins. Let's go, Mr. Biggins. Because everything looks better on a Biggins. Ah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That sweatshirt is a Nami. That's adorbs. That's adorbs. Well, let's see what we got here. Your boy might get that. Your boy might get that. Okay, all right, that's cool. That's cool. That's all right. That's all right. And then I think so the rest of this stuff is just old business. Yeah. The rest of this stuff is just old business. So hands down, my favorite thing out of all the new Valentine's Day stuff that we have in the store is absolutely this grenade. This is awesome. This is it right here. You know what I mean? Like I don't think anything in the store is beating that guy. So let's see. So we looked at the wheel. We looked at all that. We looked at the store. Do you guys want to go see a couple of things in the practice arena? What time is it? Ooh, crap! I gotta wrap this up. I gotta go to work, man. All right, so everybody who tuned in the video, thank you so much for tuning in to the Gumbuck review of the mid-season patch. If you want to stick around, I'm about to go through and read some missed chats. Otherwise, I appreciate y'all, and we'll see you in the next one. And scene. All right, guys, so that's going to be basically the end of the YouTube video. Let's take a look at what we had going on here, because I believe we had some things going down in the Chizat. Let's see. This update is fire. Heavy screwed. They've got all of it. Stun gun buff soon. I don't know if they're going to buff it. I'm not sure if they're buffing the stun gun or it's going to be some type of rework. It's just me says never with my LH1. I need me that grenade and the rocket launcher. Yes, dude. LH1 slapped. Sam Joe's going to love. Hey, what's up, Kai? I don't know if you're still in there. I see you now, though. Sir Dread says Lockbolt was useless, maybe better now. They nerfed RPG. They nerfed Dome Shield. They nerfed Explosive Mines. They nerfed Goo Gun. They nerfed Shield Spec and Roll It Back. Now they nerf Charge and Slam. Cool Dude says Charge and Slam nerf sad face. Ready Up comes in with the yay. He's like, dang, the Charge and Slam pad. Oh, a lot of people are down on the Charge and Slam. Double heavy nerfs is so lame. Sir Dread says, they hate the heavy. I'm giving Embark nothing but love. Embark gives my favorite class nothing but shaft. Oh, it's so sad. The cooldown has always been super fast. A nerf to that would have been perfect. I think so, Sir Dread. I think a nerf to the cooldown was what I would have done, but who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude with a dude and another dude. DMAT changes seem more like a buff? I think so, maybe. The heavy classes, the Radio Beast says the heavy class rarely gets nerfed. I don't know about that. They definitely have seen some nerfs. Everybody has seen their fair share of nerfs, I think. The turret is absolutely lame. I agree, Pad. Needs nerf. Yeah. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you fix the turret. Get that winch claw out of here. winch class, the biggest crutch on the planet. Or winch claw, the biggest crutch on the planet. Sir Dread says heavy rarely gets nerfed. Dome shield, explosive mines. Oh yeah, so he's basically saying they do get nerfed, which they do. What's going on? Ooh, I cannot read that. Mype Kitua. I'm sorry, I am not an international man of mystery. MYPPKITUA. What is up? Hey Kai17 on the Twitch side. What's going on? I agree that the winch is and always has been BS though. I think the winch is fine. The 10-meter thing is cool, actually. I think that's probably good. I think that's okay. I don't think they nerfed that into the ground, and maybe it needed it. Sir Dread says, okay, bye, not getting into that. We could go all day about what's needed for the slowest, baddest target on the map and what they need. Clearly, you are very pleased with the changes, and I'm happy for you. Ready Up's like, discourse on, skin is crazy. That's sick. And then now we're caught all back up. What's up, Nichols? What's going on, buddy? Good morning. You're up early, Nichols. You got to work today, buddy? Marcy Buchanan says, any light changes? Not really. I mean, not. There's a little bit of a buff to the sniper rifle, and some quality of life changes just to some clipping and some mechanics and stuff like that with the breach charge. Ooh, the breach charge actually got a little bit of a buff. But not the light didn't get too much of a buff or a nerf. Light really didn't get messed with this patch, I don't think, unless I'm forgetting something. What'd they do to the DMAT? Nichols asks. So they actually buffed the DMAT in the way of when anything that's attached to a wall that gets dematted will also now be dematted. So by that, I mean there could be like a light fixture attached to the wall, and if you dematted the wall, the light fixture would stay there, which would inhibit a smooth pass-through. So this happened to me all the time. I would demat the wall, but it wouldn't demat like the light fixture. So when I went to go through the wall, I would get caught on the light fixture, and oftentimes would result in my death. And so that's a cool fix. So anything that is attached to the surface you demat will also get completely dematted. That's a big win. And then they decrease the time that the wall stays open from 30 to 15 seconds. And now actually the more I think about it, the more I think that is another buff to it. So I think the DMAT got love, actually. Gunchaman 684 says, can you test the little dagger adjustment? I actually can't test. I have to go to work. In fact, right now is when when the wheels should be on the road for me. So I'm actually going to be a little late today. So I'm going to have to wrap this up kind of abruptly. Nichols says, this is a great fix. It happens to me all the time. Ditto, my man Nichols. Ditto. I really wish I could test some of the stuff out. Remember, guys, we're not streaming today. Today is Wednesday, so we're taking the day off from streaming, but I'll be around. And, man, thanks to everybody who tuned in so freaking early with me this morning. It's update 5.8.0. It's the big midseason patch. They actually did quite a bit, and I'm excited to see it. One of the biggest changes that we can look for is the plug meta change. So we'll see what they did to try to change or alter the plug meta, if it will really affect the gameplay and the flow. All right, with that, thanks to everybody who tuned in. We'll be back on streaming our normal time tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST. Man, y'all are awesome. I love y'all. Hasta luego. We will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.